it would be that close. I thought really they might end up maybe running over them, Rebels. So Rebels putting up a good defense. The question though is, can they bring together their own map pick of Ancient and take this one home? We're going to have to wait to find out. Of course, one of the big players that I'm looking forward to seeing more of, though, is Polo. I really hope he can maintain that form from the previous map, just to see, because Ancient can be so similar to Mirage and the impact that an AWP can have. It'll be a fun time to find out which version of him we actually get to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, moving into this, of course, because this is the pick of Rebels, CT side start here for Brazy, and Virtuoso already under a little bit of pressure. Clotsu right by him inside of Donut, but they both get floored by Casey. A nice double kill on the entry, and they just keep running over these players on the defense. Brazy looking dazed and confused. A 5-on-1 to start off this pistol.
Well... Rebels are going to be pretty happy about this, I suppose. I actually thought that Rebels might want to lean into another map pick. I was expecting that maybe we'd see a Vertigo even coming through from them. But yeah, they decided to go for an Ancient, which they haven't necessarily had the most recent form on. Brazy as well have struggled a little bit. So, yeah.
I think it's just about how many reps they have on Ancient. Because they do like to pick into a Vertigo every so often, but yeah, it's just the fact they haven't had as many officials on it, maybe. Even though their Ancient track record has a few turbulent periods.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice. Olive runs all the way through mid and can clear out the B-bomb site while everybody is stacking A on Brazy. They were all lined up together to fight someone inside of A main, but a player that will never come. And now Olymp getting into a forward spot where he might just be able to cut these players down on the rotate. But he's run a completely different direction. It's Casey that will spot where all the action is, and he lines them up for a nice little spray. Wow. It's a very compact angle, so just keeping that spray tight. And they all sort of run to their deaths. No success here for Brazy.
Very comfortable. Brazy will be turning around and going straight into the M4 purchases. We won't have any ops coming forward until likely the 5th round, but maybe we can subvert expectations.
I think they did lose a rifle, unfortunately. I think Flayy tried to pick it up, but didn't actually grab it, so it was somewhat costly.
They'll be ready to brush that off at the business expense. In the meanwhile, Olymp's actually gone all the way into the A site, has made no secrets about it, made a lot of noise, and with that, he's been able to force a huge amount of attention here. Now, CTs have recognized that he is just the one lone man, but at some point they'll have to address him. Polo explores down in middle, finds out that it's fully clear, and now Prism's the one called upon. Good for one, can't make it two. Polo elsewhere on the map had found the one lurking Olymp. And Rebels find their offense falling apart. Brazy, however, still might end up having this fall out of their hands. Rebels aren't ready for this fast flank to activate, so Brazy will be able to prevent the bomb from being planted, and Kisserekk can't actually pull out his weapon in time either. Virtuoso wait for the swing, and Swizz forced to reload. He will just be going forward, farming up that cash.
Yeah, even if they were ready for one player on the flank, they weren't prepared for two. So should Swizz have somehow ended up empty-handed, which was not seeming likely considering that first player was planting the bomb, Virtuoso was there to tie the bow on it. Nice job keeping the pressure applied. I mean, those players fighting on the bomb side did feel like a bit of an overstep from Brazy. You know, Rebels clamoring back with those 2 kills. But because they kept their attentions drawn towards that spawn sector, this gave time for that flank to actually come to fruition. Much more forward presence here from Brazy. Smoke onto the lane and cutting off the doors. The AWP of Polo striking in for what is a freebie. Olymp got past the angle, jiggled back, and hoped to take the challenge, but that AWP won't miss.
Forward for the peek. Ooh, but there's no one on the T side. Fully exposed. Kisserekk and Flayy can punish the re-aggress from CTs, but Swizz is still here. Beautiful attempt, but actually Flayy is the one to take away his teammate's life. 2-on-2. Prism out in the open, hoping to make a show of it, but instead it's Polo who actually finds the damage and the follow-up. Casey felt like he had been lucky to stay alive. Luck runs out.
He knows it's both, so he's very quick-footed to run over towards the A side. It's a foot race between him and Prism. Polo a little bit later to the action, but a smoke that's down CT, so they can try and play behind it. They have no need to blow open the smoke, so they might have to wait the whole 20 seconds, but Prism starts to walk forward, creep out, and Flayy, that's a free kill. Polo, an attempt to trade on the AWP will be difficult, but sitting in from Brokey, Flayy able to go out wider, and just as Polo gets ready to pre-aim the angle, Flayy catches him completely off guard. A lovely three-piece in from Flayy, and sure there's a team kill darted in the mix, but him closing out the round makes up for a prior misstep.
I mean, more than makes up for it. Did feel like Prism dropped the ball somewhat, not being able to find those kills on the M4 when he's fully out in the open and had the advantage, but yeah, overall, great round from Flayy.
Yeah, I mean, holding such a wide off angle when there's multiple players coming your way and not having a full magazine,
yeah, that was
probably is probably the mistake there.
Wonder if he picked that one up from a teammate or something like it, but it doesn't seem likely given his position.
No.
Regardless, though, full force by coming up, 4 MP9s, and they are getting aggressive. Rebels expecting it will just allow themselves to drag their feet a little bit.
There's just so many smokes that are down by the T side early that they're not going to have a whole lot left for an execute, especially if they want to peruse middle. Now there's deep sight lines. Sure, it's only SMGs that are predominantly there for the Brazy side, but that's still an unknown factor for Rebels. If they had a firm read that there was maybe like a scout in play, they could get an idea of how the setup is being ran. These SMGs are going to be dynamic. Polo hunting for information and does fall to Olymp, who took a very forward position inside of mid, got underneath the jump up to ledge, and finally activates. And this will prompt them to start converging onto the A bomb site. Virtuoso spotted out, had to commit to a reload, ran out of bullets. Olymp shoots him in the back, and these players didn't move a muscle inside of Cave. One started to move away, but Swizz there to cover, so still into a 3-on-3. They're not going to try for it. No kit. And no rifle recovered off of the player that was trying to keep them entertained inside of Cave.
Such a hard-fought battle, and all you get is the MAC-10. Prism isn't even bothering going forward to pick them up. He probably will towards the end of it, but regardless, Rebels continue forward a streak of form that they have come into Ancient with. Good to see. Some good reads as well overall coming through, and this was the Rebels that maybe you were hoping to see with all of the experience and all of the X factors paying off.
This buy will still be kind of scary. I mean, it should be a lack of investment truly by the Brazy side, but because they have all these SMGs, they still have a pistol in Prism's possession, so you can actually kind of give one of those over to the players that surround him that shouldn't invest. Virtuoso investing into armor and a smoke, and he's given that P250, or rather the 5.7. So, not as dangerous as the last buy, but not far away. Can't afford to let your guard down if you're Rebels. Once again, flooding mid with a bunch of utility. Smokes and Molotovs that are down. This time Olymp going close to the red room smoke. And he must know that there are SMGs that are saved. Closing the gap on that angle will be very dangerous.
Maybe he's hoping to hold and stall this one out for a little while longer. Re-smoke in red room, and that's where he wants to commit. Prism's down already, and he rotates over. Closu not able to find a frag. Sparrow shuts him down, and Olymp as well now with the late red room presence is revealing his cards, and they look pretty damn good, honestly. Swizz, the only one with an ace in his pockets, but turns out even that won't be enough.
Yeah, that's nicely done there from Olymp. I mean, he didn't want to actually go through red room without additional utility, and once he heard the steps rotating into deep spawn, he knew that was his time to strike. It wasn't a sound bait or anything. It was a simple read, and managed to insert himself and cut down any support that Brazy were hoping to bring over to that B bomb site before it even gets started.
Fast mid-control util being used by the T side, but they're not actually able to find any of it. CTs use all 4 of their Molotovs early just to get some more lane presence as well. Close to some good spam damage, even follows up with a second chance at it. Casey taken down.
Yeah, after the first burst, I thought he'd maybe given up on it, but he went for another barrage, and sure enough, it hits the money, so that's how he finishes off what he started. I was going to say, for all the utility investment that Brazy went with at the start of this round, it's surprising that they didn't try and take some space with it, but getting that advantage through the wall will certainly help. Close to another kill. Kisserekk just trying to investigate up the ramp. Flayy forced off by a flash, but he did catch a little glimpse of Prism in at long. He does have the responsibility of picking up this bomb, though, and reconvening with the remainder of his squad, but Close wasn't done with just the kills through walls, the 1 kill up ramp. He pushes it down and finds the bomb. Olymp a counter kill, but the round is looking pretty screwed, really, from here.
Now, this is the closer that we wanted to see. Wasn't really having the best of games in Mirage, and I honestly was very surprised to see that, and I would have been surprised to see that continue across the entire series, and surely it doesn't. You are right, Michael. It was slightly strange to see that much investment without actually aggression behind it, but maybe they were trying to get that funnel in. Set him up for the spam damage.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Listen, it's my job to provide the copium. You don't have to huff it.
Yeah, I understand playing devil's advocate there. Don't think it really accomplished what that objective, if that is the objective, it didn't really accomplish that job in the way that you would maybe think it would, but...
Funnel him into the wall bang. Boom. There you go. Makes perfect sense.
At least he did know the lineup. Yeah, Close on his Mirage performance didn't feel like he was the most engaged. I do sometimes sympathize with the like B and A anchors on Mirage. Sometimes you feel like you just have no support because it's such a fight for middle all the time. It can be rather feast or famine from players in those spots. Polo, nice molly, and Casey blissfully unaware, not prepared for Polo to still maintain that angle on the AWP.
Is Swiss ready for this? Swiss reveals his position play, however, still gets taken down, and Sparrow's right behind him. I'm wildly surprised that deal goes the way it does, but hey, Swiss has got hands, and so does Close.
Okay, well, that kind of sucked to look at for Kisserekk. Not for any sort of massive mechanical fumblings, but he's getting spammed. He's in a duel at the same time. There's another player close around.
Covering off the player he's trying to fight.
Yeah, it all just looked pretty cooked. And he gets nothing as a result. On a path to recovery, are Brazy. Down to pistols are the Rebels, and so this is a chance to close that gap. And they are getting away with some of the aggression that was really a big reason that Mirage went so swimmingly. Nice spam from Swizz. In fact, he'll finish it off with a double. Flayy falling right into the same problem. They wanted to go for fast mid control, maybe get themselves into donut quickly, but now that those two players have died, it does kind of slow their hand.
Yeah, there's no territory for you guys. And
He couldn't have done that.
They're all so clumped together on the map as well. They're just all dying in the same angle.
But Spiro couldn't have tried to pick up a pistol while that smoke was still up. He had to wait until it was gone. Like,
Ghost Brain isn't on all the time, okay? You gotta have player hands too, so...
I mean, I can also understand why he didn't, do it when the smoke was up, because, they could have swung from ledge and from cave, rather.
Yes.
I get it, but
That
also
said,
it does look a little silly when he's got no teammates covering for him anymore, and he's just staring at the floor. It's like the easiest kill that Swizz could have asked for.
Oh, this nade is going to be really nice. Casey actually does tuck away and doesn't go all the way forward, otherwise would have been slowed, tagged, and pretty soon after back. Close to another attempt at the spam, one that does not connect this time. Casey much more defensive.
Well, they do re-smoke elbow, so Swizz can maintain his position. They flash in as well. The flash was good. Closu didn't see that there was a player blind right under his nose. Virtuoso trying to take back that space on ledge, and he should have timing, but so long as he doesn't make steps, that should be a free kill. No, Casey turned. Oh dear.
Gave up his position. Virtuoso just didn't register the audio, unfortunately.
Yeah, he got partial blinded, I think, as well when they were running up.
To be honest,
into ramp.
Even despite the flashbang counterplay, Brazy's setup wasn't the worst. Just because Swizz was actually playing anti-flash, so he did have a fair deal. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the spray together from the long range.
Yeah. I mean, Swizz's fight was fair, but there was also 3 players peeking him, so I don't know how fair it really is. Like, it was a clean duel, I guess. But they had a numbers advantage, so if he got away with a multi-kill there, it would have had to be a star alignment. Well, they started off 5-1, the Rebels. And now they've finally broken through with another round. There's a Brazy 3 straight, and their money could potentially dry up by the end of this half. If Rebels succeed here, we could see an 8-4, just because of the economic circumstances. This is a pretty must-win round for the Brazy side on their defense.
Once again, setting up for the B-door smoke, but this time there won't be any late crunch efforts in for lane. Oh, the spam right back. Kisserekk might not be the happiest about that.
Close to the spam man.
Yeah, he is, honestly. Rivals are pretty committed to the idea of hitting into this bomb site even now, but nades and the like just keep on coming over. It feels like they're losing, bleeding out more HP than not, but the CTs as well have no reason to rotate. Not yet. Swizz has to be careful in middle. Olin is going to try and make a play, and Swizz this time is ready for it. It's a bit of an adjustment of the crosshair, but he gets it done. And with the resmoke out towards ramp, this site hit becomes very difficult.
Yeah, that smoke that's down. They're actually looking to fight forward once that smoke fades, just because there's that mounting pressure. But there's a fresh smoke, and they blow it open. Flayy was ready, and Kisserekk also lining up the spam. A taste of Closu's own medicine. 26 seconds, and they're fighting round the smoke. Swizz finally sussed out as well. So Rebels crack into this B play, and they will be allowed enough space for a plant. The spam from Polo is certainly damn close, but they need these guns. They need to save. Down in numbers, and their economy is not in a great place for that last round of the half. Rebels will be allowed their 7th. It's all about whether Brazy escape with these weapons or not.
Honestly, that entire round comes down to the nade over towards the B main smokes. It's great to see that Rebels had that saved all across. Casey, he's heard the scope. He knows they're here. Around the corner and actually check for Virtuoso. Yes, he does, and now Polo has to hit the shot. Maybe even another. Around the corner comes Sparrow. I'm surprised Polo keeps it going. This is really... I mean, honestly, that's just unnecessary.
I genuinely don't know why he did that. I'm trying to rationalize it. If you're scared of being attacked from both sides... Like,
I mean, you're going to hear them coming over from A, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that felt like a massive mistake, because they could have saved over that AWP, and I mean, Polo hasn't had the same impact here on Ancient as he was on Mirage. But he's certainly been a player that can provide an opportunity or two. Nice little gap around the Molotov over at elbow. Olim gets a free frag. Swizz tried to challenge round it, but that's one of the disadvantages of the quick elbow smoke, is that they can get out still.
Polo. Maybe he thought the op that he needed to do it with other one. Oh no! Ah, pain. And no, not the Brazilian team at the major.
Disappointing.
Very hard to get a multi-kill together with a Mag 7 in a position like that, regardless, because they are likely to, you know, spin around. But you can see
just
it.
thought you'd get one at least. You just thought you'd get at least one.
Oh, maybe the round's not done yet. Virtuoso is gonna die to the flames. 8-4. Cremation is how we ended, and we're coming back with the second half after a small break. Eight to 4, Rebels looking good, and feels like, honestly, no one beyond Swizz is putting up a massive show from the Brazzy side either. Close, who had a couple of rounds where he got together a multi-kill or two, but only one of them were actually converted. Who's going to step up on this T side for Brazzy?
Yeah, it is a big question, because Swizz can't be expected to just find multi-kills, especially now that we move into this T side. He's doing a lot to fight in through middle, but now on the attack will be put to question. Olim does get dinked instantly on his defense over at A, so there may be an attempt to run him down, but they're happy that they just have enough space to plant. No spams, no post plants, no retake angles that they had to worry about with the bomb getting punched in, and so Brazzy can play the 5-on-5.
4-man retake in through Temple is a bold one. Closu is going to be called to order very soon, but a silent drop down. Casey gets the first and the second. Wow, never even actually put into question. Polo now reveals himself, but not with a kill or anything like it. A flashbang to try and peek forward. Swizz has got nothing to offer. With the smoke down, they can just go for the full defuse.
Damn. A very nice retake. I mean, Casey, those 2 opening kills just suddenly broke down the entire post-plant plan for Brazy, and just having that kit smoke on Spiro made a world of a difference there. I mean, there's just simply not enough time to play with, even if you're thinking about Swizz clutching it back. He was always on a ticking timer, and he needed to get that diffuser off, and he just simply couldn't even win his first fight. It was very stressful, I imagine, when everything looks so good, and then immediately exploded in their face. You know, I didn't have that. You know, we've seen that a few times, especially on Ancient, where players play inside of the smoke, but round it so that they don't get singed by a Molotov. I didn't actually share your the same critique as either yourself or I think you said Sponge had made a post about it, but I see it now.
Yeah, you see how ridiculous that looks.
Yeah, it is kind of stupid.
Maybe a little bit tweaking, that's all. But Closu's tweaking them down. Flayy is the only one on this site left, and they just commit to the bomb plant. They're so secure, and Polo's Mac 10 is swinging right by. My God.
Well, this time nice and easy, and no chance to retake. No extra utility, no kits to worry about, nor the players. So yeah, nice double entry, nice and simple from Closu. Yeah, Swizz did a lot of the fragging, but I think Closu was doing a pretty solid job on his bomb site. You know, not able to really convert on a lot of kills when the hits actually came his way, but he was definitely one of those pressure players. Just kept Rebels uncomfortable.
Look, if there was ever a time to turn your fortunes around, it would be now, right? Weak money from Rebels, they're stringing together this buy with an M4, a couple of 5.7s, but also, you can't afford to lose too many players either. You do want to keep, start building up the bank in your road to the comeback.
I mean, it's also, you know, you lose pistol and then you immediately answer back with the force. I mean, it's pretty much ideal. Resets those funds so dramatically on that Rebel side, like you said. You know, economy is really the name of the game at the start of the half. So keeping things as clean as possible is an important objective. Olymp ducking, bobbing, and weaving, and eventually captured by Swizz, who scaled up on that left-hand side. Scout of Flayy finds a lot of nothing, but does redeem himself on the second peak. Immediate headshot onto Polo that drops that bomb out in the open.
Oh, it's Casey's in there. I was wondering why Flay's HP wasn't going down. Kisserekk down, though. And in the meanwhile, despite the T's being low, they've got the cover fire they need. So Rebels, who could have thought about licking their wounds and coming back to fight another day, are instead inflicting a lot of wounds, yes, but not actually finding kills.
Nice awareness there from Prism. That was a possibility. He crouch peeked into the angle, anticipating that could be a play.
Okay, all right.
That's
Just
nice.
a smack to the head of Virtuoso. Don't be bothering me.
Yeah, could have maybe finished off Closu as well, but having a USP there would have almost guaranteed him the win on the fight, but he didn't know just how much damage had been done.
I don't actually know if within the client that they're using you get the damage values or the HP values at the end of the round.
There probably isn't. Yeah, there probably isn't.
Okay. Because I know a lot of things have shifted over to the Faceit client now, and the Faceit client does have that, so...
Even in League play?
Yes, it does in League play as well.
Oh, okay. Well, then
But
yeah,
I
they
don't
would.
know if they're using that for the ESL Challenger League.
I do believe they are.
Okay. Alright then.
Yeah.
Well, Virtuoso, in the meanwhile, is having a ball, I think, is how it's said. Knows that they're all around the corner as well. Olim's been spotted. Virtuoso running out of bullets will give up the angle, but why not retake it? You know you want it. You know you need it. Virtuoso pulled it all together.
Yeah, he didn't even hunt for it. He was just holding his spot and making sure that nobody could recover anything that those Rebels players had invested in or made themselves more dangerous somehow. Kept track of him. I remember when they introduced that, you know, the extra click noise when you're running low on ammo, as the community does. Oh, look, why are we changing things? It was fine. If you can't count 30 bullets when you spray every single bullet, you deserve to lose the fight. I think Virtuoso, he heard that click and he was like, I could get rushed down by pistols.
Oh.
They're gonna get rushed down by something completely different. It's an investment here from Brazy, and they overwhelm Casey on the entrance to B. A lot of damage done to Flayy as well, so he cannot pursue. Virtuoso trying to finish off the job, but he pulls a molly, and the trade was there. There's a flurry of frags right back here from the Rebels. Those rotates cleaning house on the B retake.
Alright, we gotta have a conversation right now, okay? Team kill, fine. That's forgivable. No, honestly, not the biggest deal in the world.
It happens.
The Molotov delay, because he almost lines it up between them, is what allows Kisserekk to beat boss and actually get into a position to get so much of that damage. That's a flub. That's a flounder. That's a ball that's been dropped.
Now, do you think it was because of the team kill that really threw them off?
Listen, if you're gonna shout out because you got team killed and destroyed the comms, then you do deserve to lose that round. I won't lie, but I doubt it. It feels unlikely.
But it might have been that player that was going to entry was, you know, if they get the entry so quick, that's his role.
Nah. Casey, his role is to get killed. Sparrow's role is to get killed. At least in this map so far.
Use Prism like a platform. Oh my god, Casey.
Through the smoke, he's not expected. Bomb controlled, Swizz killed. And Prism, well, now he's confused.
Oh, this feels awkward. Guys, B main has been taken, but we still have all the other space outside of B. We just don't have the bomb. There can be no reinforcements gained for Casey, so him holding down his spot is imperative. Flayy has to try his best to keep them busy.
Prism's dead.
No. Flayy doesn't maintain the angle. Sitting around that smoke is a bit of a potential liability. They do have Olymp that's reinforced ramp.
Olim's down, and this is where Flayy is actually traded out as well. The problem is always Casey. Always has been, always will be. Kisserekk as well. Comes through from the side. Shuts him down, and where Brazy looked like they were going to be able to start to pick things up. That one round that goes awry, and now Casey going all the way into their spawn. Tough times.
Yeah, that was maybe what they had planned when they got rushed down on the Brazy recall. Because Casey played very close to ramp, and then he got overwhelmed by the SMGs. And they decided to go for it, I think this time again. But no one's ever really expecting that route taken by Casey, not to mention perfect timing. There's that Virtuoso playing around those smokes again at elbow. Shadow spotted, and so it's an easy pick there for Flayy. A Molotov that doesn't even make it all the way to the big box, so Flayy can sit behind it and keep watchful eyes on main. That area is completely shut out, and so they're really hoping Prism finds something on B.
Casey hunting down Prism, but Prism's actually found the frag, and Sparrow on the other side, and as he starts to re-peek back out over, Sparrow ends up being another frag for him. So Brazy, despite losing out early on, Flay's been given another chance to find a frag. Polo. But a negligence comes through, and Flay's gonna keep it going more and more, and he goes, not for 4, Kisserekk. Has to be the one to shut them down. Rebels bring it up to 12.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's a hell of a round there from Flayy. First shot was simple, but then when the round starts getting awkward, you know, all that work that's done by Prism over on the B-bomb site, Flayy starts to get a little uncomfortable. You know, missed his chance on Polo, but also knew that once that player sort of retreated back into main, he didn't have to worry about that player almost pressuring him. You know, he's thinking that the AWP is trained on that position and his players can come out from Donut, but Flayy just fought out in the open and he hit some lovely shots.
Alright, time for the Flood to come forward. The question is there a dam to stop them? No, not this time. Kisserekk and Olymp hit the deck and Flayy rotating over is good for a double frags. There you have it, Flayy. The flash goes on, never off. Man might not be a photographer, but he is an upper through and through. Virtuoso finally shutting him down. Sparrow and Casey. Smokes have been phased. Time's been spent. And Virtuoso's position revealed, but Polo on the other side can still finish off Casey. All of Flay's efforts are in vain. 8 for Brazy.
That was... I mean, I don't know what's happening with Flayy right now, but he's hitting some wild shots. That felt like it was almost through the entirety of the big box. Like, that player behind was low HP enough. But it's through a player, through the boxes. That could have turned the round straight on its head. But I think because Flayy got that opportunity, maybe overstepping, you know, had he maintained tempo control, he could have used his extra presence as another attack avenue before, when it came down to the retake. Brazy, once again, you know, their successes on this T side do feel like they have stemmed off of keeping the pace high. But they'll start off with a slower approach this time over. Rebels are on a scrambled buy. Only been finding a kill just as Swizz was playing around the smoke near cave. So nice forward push. They might fall right into the stack because of this. Oh, Spiro had a chance.
Surely not this way. Close is able to close the distance, but he's running out of bullets. That's where Virtuoso has to step up and take the killer's seat. Virtuoso keeps it going. He's got plenty of kills still in him, and the T side, despite going into a stack and losing, honestly, a lot of life, are able to keep things breezy. Sparrow's one kill could have been the difference maker.
Yeah, it's the fact that he was alone inside of cave like that. You know, had he been able to stay alive or get his frag, the site players playing close to ramp wouldn't have felt so overly exposed. Not a fault, but an unfortunate turn of events. They do bring it within 3. Brazy, I like that they're keeping it up tempo. They've overthought, they've played too slow sometimes, and it has really come back to bite them. And this time they just run straight into A via Donut, and they call it all clear. Guys, if you have to worry about anything, it's A main. But they even start back wrapping and clearing that as well, so that there's no problems getting that package into the site. Running into T-spawn, and the rest of the team are also kind of looking to join him there. They have flooded in through elbow, and okay, that's more than Swizz bargained for.
Wow. Time to get some confidence, time to get some wind in your sail, right? Look, we're effectively one gun round away from overtime. Yep. Unless Rebels saves, they need to get something together over here. And they haven't actually gone for a lot of Molotovs. It's just the one. On Ancient, that's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so frequently are double Molotovs used to just take mid control.
Or B control.
Yeah.
Any control. Olim's used up that full belt early on, and Polo's just accelerating all the way in. If he can find that first kill, Sparrow, forced back by the Molotov, gives Polo the ability to hold on for dear life, but more importantly, dear death. He's going to keep hard-scoping forward, not fully clearing out. Kisserekk will get the one, but as he's trying to fade away, that's what Polo was set up for. Nade was good, but it won't matter. Swizz is here to clean it all up. Needs another one. You can't ask him to get you 3, surely not. Brazy They had a nice idea, they had the right call, but they just couldn't hit the right shots. Virtuoso can't rectify it either, not with the game Flay's been having. 13 for Rebels as they close it out and take us to nuke.
Yeah, even missing out on all that extra utility, them trying to play ahead of smokes, and even with the utility that was thrown by Brazy, it just simply was not enough. A really nice map played out by Rebels, all in all. You know, their CT side did feel like there were a couple fumbles, you know, a couple missed calls versus what Brazy were doing. But I think they also started